Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in Amrutanubhava, chapter 7, verse 37, OV 37, and we are talking about how ignorance, something called ignorance, is not there. And towards that, the whole discussion is centered. जय अज्ञान येथन से तरीच आत्मा आभासे मनोनी बोलनी वायसे नायकावी की. If there is no possibility of ignorance in the self alone is, and therefore to talk of it as being present in self or independent is meaningless. Ignorance is never there, Atma alone is. You alone are there, shadow is not there. Shadow has got no independent existence. Absence of light is called shadow. But self is everywhere. Now don't take that example and say, oh, the absence of light of self is called shadow. Atma is all pervasive. So there is no place that the divine light is not there. So how can there be a shadow formed in the first place? Therefore, with this thinking, there is no ignorance. And there, ignorance is never there, Atma alone is. Therefore, one should not waste time in thinking that Atma is the support of ignorance, or that ignorance should be destroyed in order to know our own essential nature, etc. This is Ishvara Advayavad. In this we do not do neti neti. We do not deny I'm not the world, I'm not the senses, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the... There's no I'm not. If you understand this statement clearly, that Atma is all that there is. Atma by nature is all pervasive. Atma by nature is all existence. Atma by nature is all knowledge. Then how can there be ignorance? Where is the place for ignorance then? And when we make these statements, oh, the darkness is because of the sun, the ignorance is because of the light, that our Shankaracharya says that mind has come because of our self-forgetfulness. Therefore, the individuality has come about. Therefore, the mind has come into existence. Therefore, the ego has come about. But tell me one thing, when have you forgotten yourself? That is just a statement so to trigger you to come to yourself. Was there any moment in your entire life that we have forgotten ourselves? Never. So ignorance is not possible. Then to say that Atma is supporting the whole creation, the Atma is supporting the cause of creation, the ignorance, a wrong conclusion. The self is supporting the Maya Shakti, a wrong conclusion. Because the self alone is appearing as the Purusha Prakriti. So, where is the question of supporting? It alone has become as if. So, there is no question of support. The material that has gone into Purusha and Prakriti is nothing but that Supreme Purusha, that Atman, that Brahman. All these statements have as little meaning as crowing of a crow. Caw, 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 लगे रहते हैं. The notion that because of ignorance we suffer has no meaning. We suffer because we are alive. Yeah, this is a very important point. Why God is not taking care of me? What have I done wrong so that all these untoward experiences are coming towards me? Then we find a reason. Oh, it must be your prarabdha. No, 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 no. Why did the prarabdha turn out to be like this? Because of the karmas that you did in the past life. Oh, in the past life I did all these karmas. I can't remember. Thank God you can't remember. If you knew that you did it, then you will die while living only. You will be living dead under the burden of past remembrance. Lucky. The system is created such a way that you forget your past. But all this is only working theory. This is not reality. Our goal is not here to and who did the karma? The individual, the ego, the doer. He did the karmas. And where is the ego? Oh, ego, it does not exist. Ego does not exist. So that means all the karmas of the past life, present life, future life, if ego does not exist, then everything that he is done or not done also does not exist. Yes. So that means there is no past life and future life. No. But then the scriptures say, yes. They say, question is to whom? And here, Jnaneshwar Maharaj is telling to whom? From which standpoint he is speaking, and from which standpoint those statements that there is past life, your past karmas, etc., that was in Karma Yoga. Where in Karma Yoga, the basic premise is that I am the body, I am the doer. To that idiot, all that data was given. Here there is no idiot. There's a difference. Here the vision is all encompassing. And where the vision is all encompassing, there ignorance is not possible. Darkness is not possible. Doubt is not possible. Misery is not possible. Rebirth is not possible. Identification is not possible. All the above are possible only if identification is there. From the Atmic point of view, there is no identification possible. How can the one be identified with the one? It is not possible. You can be identified with something that is other than one. And that is what our experience is. I am and you are. So there is an identification possible. I am and this laptop is, there is identification possible. I am and memories are, therefore identification is possible. I am and waking experience, dream experience, sleep experience, therefore identification is possible, and you keep going through that cycle. But when we come to the Atmic principle, which is one alone, whom will that, and that is my nature, then whom will this Atma identify with? No one. Think. No identification possible. Therefore, no suffering. Identification is equal to misery, suffering, repetition, a cyclical life where there is no identification. There is abidance, there is we can't even say there. It just is. I am, full stop. Nothing more after that. The notion that because of ignorance we suffer has no meaning. We suffer because we are alive. So where is suffering? Suffering is there. Very, very important point. Suffering is where there is change. Now find out in your life, where is the change? Is change in you, or the change is in the equipment? Change is out there in the world. Oh, it's so cold. I hate people nowadays. I hate. I love the sun. Changes in the body, changes in the senses, changes in the mind, changes in your convictions. And what are all these? The senses, the body, the mind, the intellect, the total world. Is that, if you identify with it, then you are miserable. Do you feel you are the changing one? If you sit quietly and contemplate, you will not find that you are the changing one. So, wherever there is change, wherever there is movement, there is a possibility of success and failure, likes and dislikes, hunger and thirst, comfort and discomfort, heat and cold, joys and sorrows. Wherever there is change, wherever the change is possible, where there is movement, body is moving, every cell is changing, inside, outside, everywhere. Mind is changing, breath is changing, notions are changing, thoughts are changing. And who are you? Who are you? You are the witness of all the change. At this moment, this is your position. So where is the question? To say, I am changing, I am suffering, I am. Get out of it. Analyze this logically with a quiet mind. Keep working towards it so that we come to all this wrong approach dissolves away by itself. So we suffer because we are alive. Life means movement. Because we are conscious. Here when he says we suffer, it is the body which is suffering. Body is suffering only as long as life is expressing through it. A dead body doesn't suffer. A blind man doesn't suffer the vision. If he is identified with the eyes, then he will suffer the consequences of being blind. But a person who is born blind, he doesn't know what is the difference. See? The moment we divert the attention from the plurality to the one reality, then all the problems cease. This is the formula to contentment, to realization, to sort everything out. Normally, our attention is on the world and we want to sort out the world. We want to manipulate the world so that we become calm, cool, collected, rested, successful, etc., etc. And as long as we are hooked into the world as I, and where was I? The moment we move away from manyness to oneness, the moment we move away from all change to changeless, this is called discrimination. Here, when he uses the word, the moment we divert the attention from the plurality to the one reality. Plurality, manyness. One to the one reality, the oneness. Oneness is necessarily unchanging. Oneness is permanent. Oneness is all-knowing. Oneness is existence. Oneness is shining its own light. It doesn't need a thought to be. It is giving validity to the thought. The one will take that statement also away, that it is giving validity to the thought. Thought is an expression of ignorance. We take that also out. See? Because here the process is for realization. So if we need to realize, everything is divine, then accept everything is divine, accept everything as an expression of the divine that I am, and story over. But if individuality is there, then you have to make this shift of attention. And that shift of attention is from plurality to the unifying principle. That unifying principle, that one reality, that changeless one, that constant one, that eternal one, I am. See? And this has to be not done once, twice, sometimes. No. Continuously, throughout the day, hook yourself to this thought. This is discrimination. And as this starts maturing, your attention remains on the one. Initially, it's only a thought. It's only an idea. It's only a bhava. It's only an assessment initially. But even in that initial stage, as you keep thinking about that unchanging principle, the constant that I am, very quickly you withdraw from the world. Nothing in this world interests you thereafter. Vairagya sets in, dispassion sets in, disinterest in the world sets in. It's automatic. You don't have to do it. Automatically, the more we are giving attention to the constant principle, automatically the senses, the mind, the senses will stop leaking out into the world. The mind will stop leaking out of the senses into the world. What is happening? The ripples are quietening. Doesn't this happen when you go to sleep every night? Observe the process. Instead of sleep, shift the attention to the conscious one that I am. The moment we divert the attention from the plurality to the one reality, then all the problems cease. When we give importance to plurality, then sense of otherness is the norm. Differences is the norm. Me versus you is the norm. Comparison and competition is the norm. Then identification is the norm. And this becomes an endless cycle to keep you in the loop of relativity. But when we shift our attention to the constant principle, to the conscious principle that I am, automatically all plurality, and in plurality, imagine that plurality was also imagined, and in that plurality, identification was imagined, and on account of identification, the misery was imagined. By whom? By the mind. Are you the mind? Or are you the constant one? So statements like the world is created out of ignorance, this is all, it's a different language. Remember, there is no language which can justify the truth. There is no language which can prove the truth. And therefore the Upanishads say, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. There is no word which can reveal the truth to you. There is no mind which can comprehend the truth. And as long as we are objective in our approach, we would like to talk about it, we would like to understand. Truth is not something that we can understand. So why are we trying to understand here by reading this book? We are trying to understand so that we understand that there is no understanding possible. When that clicks, there you are. All the notions, the set patterns by which we are living in this world, birth, death, age, health, disease, success, failure, me versus you, all these notions are being checkmated. So the world is created out of ignorance. Shankaracharya says that. Again, repeating the same thing. He says it to whom? To the one who is identified with this body and the world and beyond. In this text, that step we are not addressing only. Why? We are looking there, Shankaracharya is looking from bottom up. How do we get to up? Jnaneshwar Maharaj has already reached that up. He has reached the ultimate. He is the ultimate. He has recognized the self as the consciousness without thoughts. And then his teacher asked him, tell us what your experience is. So he is trying to bring out that which cannot be talked about into the words and presenting it to you. See, here in Amrutanubhava, the view is top. There is only one view. There is only top or bottom, so again duality ho jayega. But if at all we have to look from top down, what is the view of all inclusivity? Sadhana is a wave wanting to become the ocean. That is bottom up. Individual way looking at the total ocean, imagining, thinking, contemplating, meditating. What will be the attitude of the ocean towards the wave? Inclusivity. We can't even use the word inclusive because the wave was never outside the ocean. So we cannot say it is inclusivity. It is me, story over, full stop. There is no otherness, there is no separateness. Therefore, there is no identification. Therefore, there is no pain when a wave dies. There is no joy when a wave arises. Ocean remains constant. This is the view that is being presented here. So when we say ocean doesn't even think of wave as a wave because it's already it. This is at the total relative level. Verse 4 and 5 of the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita will teach you this. Maya tatamidam sarvam. So, statements like the world is created out of ignorance are meaningless, like saying the wind creates the waves. The world is the manifestation of the pure consciousness that I am, like the waves are created of the inherent potentiality of the ocean to express as waves. Then, if ocean is ocean and everything is ocean, then why do we call waves? You call it, ocean doesn't call it. Then where do the ocean waves come from? That is life. It is the nature of the ocean to express as waves. It is the nature of the waves to appear, stay for some time and then disappear. It is its nature. That's the nature of your thoughts. That's the nature of your body. That's the nature of your experiences. That's the nature of your waking, dreaming, and sleeping. It appears, it stays, and it goes away. To fight against it that it will not happen, you are asking for misery. That means you are not accepting. The world is the manifestation of the pure consciousness, just as the world is, for ocean there is no world. For wave there is a world. Oh my God, our population is increasing. For ocean, nothing is increasing, nothing is decreasing. It alone is. So that consciousness, that ocean is constant in and through all the waves. Similarly, that pure consciousness is constant in and through all the manifestations. Is the mind not the constant in and through all the manifestations in the dream? That's your experience. So is true in the waking state. So is true when you come to be the self and the three states come and go. You are pervading all the three states. You have never forgotten yourself. Only when we identify with, we have identified with the waking world, so we became a waker. We identified with the dream world, so we became a dreamer. Don't identify. Let the dream world come and go, don't become the dreamer. Let the waking world come and go, don't become the waker. Let the senses see, hear, touch, feel, taste, and don't become identified with it. Meaning, don't become the seer when seeing is taking place. Don't become the hearer when the hearing is taking place. Don't become I am understanding when understanding is taking place. Remain still. Remain unperturbed. The world is the manifestation of the pure consciousness that I am. Like the waves are created of the inherent potentiality of the ocean to express as waves, for the pure self to express itself as many, there is neither cause nor effect. In Kathopanishad, we are seeing the cause and effect. The senses are the cause, the tanmatras are the effect. Tanmatras are the cause, the mind is the effect. Mind is the cause, intellect is the effect. Intellect is the cause, intellect is the effect, total intellect is the cause. Total intellect is the effect. The Hiranyagarbha is the cause. Hiranyagarbha is the effect. Avyakta is the cause. Avyakta cannot be without the Purusha. They are one and the same. This is cause and effect. No, for whom is this cause and effect? The laya prakriya. From outside, we have taken the mind to the ultimate, where he loses itself. The mind dissolves in this contemplation. To whom it was given? To the individual. Which individual? Who is identified that I am this body. Because he is living in a world of cause and effect. Parents are the cause, I am the effect. I am the cause, my children are the effect. Because I did this, so I became successful. Cause and effect. Because I did past karmas, so my life is like this. Cause and effect. To such a person who takes this as the norm, to him that statement was made. But here we are not talking about that person. It's a shift wherein we go beyond cause and effect. Cause and effect is where there is duality. But when we use the statements as effect is because of cause, oh, dual, there is a cause. Piche mudke dekho, what is the cause? Oh, this is the cause. Then we make the statement, cause itself is expressing as many effects. If cause itself is expressing as many effects, then cause and effect has got no meaning only. Already that separation is gone. The ornament is told, you have come from the gold. Gold? What? I am an ornament. I have to go. What do you mean by I am the gold? Where is the gold? It is you only. What do you mean by you? See, I am a bead, I am a chain, I am this. No. What is it made up of? It is made up of some material, but what is it? Only when the ornament goes beyond a name and form, will it realize that it is gold. Similarly, when a seeker goes beyond name and form, he will realize he is the consciousness. Dekho. And when he realizes, when the ornament realizes it is the gold, then there is no cause and effect thereafter. Ornaments will still appear, but there is no cause and effect. It's its glory. Once the wave realizes that it is the ocean or the water, then all the waves are my glory. It is my manifestation. It is natural. There is no loss, there is no gain due to the appearance of the waves. We live in a world of loss and gain, success and failure, achievement, non-achievement. In spiritual journey also, sadhana also, we think, oh, I am reaching, now I reached this place, I had a good samadhi, I had a good meditation, I am there, I think I'm closer to God than I was 10 years ago, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on and on and on. You have created a journey where there is no journey. From gold's point of view, there are no ornaments, it alone is. From water's point of view, it alone is. From consciousness point of view, it alone is. When will this shift take place that the whole variety is your glory? Because eyes cannot stop seeing the form, the mind cannot stop thinking. It will think and not think, then think and not think, and then think and not think. The intellect cannot stop going through waking, dream, and deep sleep experience. It will continue. Even after realization, it continues. Because this phenomena is not happening in the self. It is happening in the equipment. What are we discovering? We want to be supremely content. We want to be the consciousness, not the shunting consciousness, which comes and goes. Waker comes and goes. Dreamer comes and goes. I don't want to come and go. I want to be. That is Atma. Once you know that you are the Atma, by abiding in the Atma as the Atma, thereafter you are no longer the waker, but the waking happens. You are no longer the dreamer, but the dream happens. No longer the sleeper, but there is no sleep. Mind is quiet. Everything goes on, but there is no owner. And once there is no owner, this is a way of expressing, I'm communicating. And why we are talking like this? Because this is what is observed in the Mahatmas. They also sleep, they also wake up, they also brush their teeth, they also do everything. Jnaneshwar Maharaj is also doing it. But without a sense of otherness. That ego is the one which appears as the seer, hearer, toucher, feeler, taster, thinker, knower, waker, dreamer, sleeper. All is the ego. Are you the ego or are you the infinite consciousness? Determine once and for all. Determine once and for all. For the pure self to express itself as many, there is neither cause nor effect. It's happening. It is its nature. The nature of a child when he is born is automatically from crawling to sitting to standing to walking, to running, to speaking. It is natural unfoldment. When a child is conceived, it is natural that two cells meet, zygote is created, and slowly that single cellular organism becomes multicellular. Then it takes the form of an egg. Then in that egg, the eyes, the hands, the legs, the head, everything starts slowly forming. Who is pushing it? Who is making it happen? It is happening. Nobody is doing anything, it's happening. It's its nature. Then what is the nature of consciousness? Ah, the nature of consciousness is where there is no cause and effect. It alone is. The position of ignorance is explained through some examples. धोरी सर्पा भास होए तोता तोतेणे धोरे बांधो नये माँ दवड़ने न साहे जया परी. The illusory snake in the rope cannot be tied with the rope. The snake can neither be driven away nor caught. Can you make the snake run away? Can you see the snake on the rope slither away into the bushes? Can you kill the snake? Can you remove the snake? Can you catch the snake and give it to the snake catcher? Ask these questions. And many people do suffer from these things. In our house itself, sometimes here it is not that much, but here in India also, something touches. Oh, I think the lizard has fallen on my back. Oh, where is the lizard? There is no lizard. But you have the abhas, you have the feeling that a lizard has fallen. People walking in the jungle, suddenly they feel like this, feel as if they have been bitten by a snake, but actually it's a stick. With their foot falling on the stick moved upwards and touched them, and they think it is a snake bite. So what can you do with the snake which only appears? What can you do with the appearance? Appearance, you cannot remove it, you cannot catch it, you cannot destroy it. You cannot. It has its own journey. Mirage water appears under certain circumstances, they stay for certain circumstances, and then under certain circumstances they vanish. Under certain circumstances, the waking world appears, stays and goes away. Then the dream world comes, stays and goes away. Under certain circumstances, the father, mother, daughter, sister, these roles, they appear. They don't appear otherwise. Only under certain circumstances. See? What can you do about it? Nothing. You cannot do anything about it. So here it is told, one cannot catch the snake that appears on the rope, nor can that snake be driven away. In the same way, ignorance can neither be proved to exist, nor can it be removed. Something that does not exist cannot be removed. Husband or wife is something that exists in its own absence. So neither can it be removed, nor can it be caught. All misery is for this fellow, the appearance. Come to the correct identity of yourself. Another example follows. त्या परी उभयता अज्ञान शब्द गेला वृथा हात तर्का वाचूनी हाता स्वरूपे नये. Thus the word ajnana is meaningless both ways. That the ignorance exists is a logical fallacy and not a reality. Ignorance does not exist. Existence is only one, and that is the truth. That is the Atma. If you say ignorance exists, you are going the wrong way. If you have been with the analysis that we have been taking from beginning of this chapter till here, then something must click inside us that there is nothing called ignorance. There is only reality. Whether one says that ignorance is existing in the Atma or that ignorance is existing independent of the Atma, both ways, these are meaningless statements. The word ignorance has no meaning other than a logical fallacy. Logical fallacy, just like we use the word that one infinite reality as if appeared as two. That one avyakta, unmanifest Shakti appears as Sattva Rajas Tamas. All this is a story. Actually, nothing like this has ever happened. All this is appearance. This is called logical fallacy. And we get caught up in that only. We get caught up in the karma theory. We get caught up in the rebirth theory. We get caught up in the prarabdha theory. But we don't want to be caught up in I am the infinite one. इधर मजा नहीं है यार, कोई वैरायटी नहीं है. इफ आई एम ऑल बाय माई सेल्फ एवरीथिंग, देन मैं मजे ही नहीं ले सकता. आई एंजॉय बिकमिंग सक्सेसफुल एंड having failure. I enjoy feeling the cold and complaining. I enjoy feeling the heat and complaining. I enjoy going to the doctor. We are social animals. We have to interact. I enjoy feeling hungry and then eating food and not feeling hungry. But we don't enjoy contemplating that I am the infinite one. कर लो भैया करेक्ट थोड़ा सा. Shift your attention to that indivisible principle. All these are working theories. Ignorance has three types, three forms of expression. Karana Rupa, Sopadhika, and Nirupadhika. First one, Karana Rupa, that is from the point of cause. Example, I do not know because I am ignorant. This is how, this is not told to prove anything. It is for you, us, it is given for us to assess ourselves. What is the first point? Karana Rupa. These are the three forms of its expression of ignorance. Again, having told that there is no ignorance, but have we accepted it? No. Little bit more. It's very fascinating. It's very interesting. What is interesting? Ignorance and expressions of ignorance are interesting. Why? Variety is there. Multiplicity is there. Then it becomes interesting. What is that first one? Karana Rupa. From the point of cause, I do not know because I am ignorant. This is the cause. I do not know myself, therefore I am ignorant. I don't know that I am Atma, except you are saying that I am Atma. I accept Jnaneshwar Maharaj and Shankaracharya, they are saying I am Atma. But I don't know that I am Atma. Insisting. Not ready to undo the identification by contemplating on what you are. But instead, somewhere in the background, continuously this tanpura is going on. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. What I don't know? I don't know that I am the consciousness. I don't know that I am the Atma. I don't know that I am of the nature of the infinite. Therefore, conclusion, I am ignorant. This is Karana Rupa. B. Sopadhika, like seeing the mirage which can happen only under certain specific conditions. Ignorance appears under only certain specific conditions. I already told you before we went into these 3 points. Waking experience happens under specific conditions. Husband appears under specific conditions. Sleep happens under specific conditions. Health or ill health happens under specific conditions. Just as mirage happens under specific conditions. You cannot create. You have to recreate those special circumstances, specific circumstances, in order for mirage to be created. Just because I want to see mirage, you can't see it. So this is second expression of the ignorance, that it appears under specific circumstances. And third, nirupadhika, like the blueness of the sky which cannot be removed even if one knows it does not exist. What is the third understanding about ignorance? That it does not exist. Even though it appears, so just like mirage, it appears, but you cannot drink. The blueness appears, but you cannot remove. Husband appears, but you cannot get rid of the husband. So first was Karana Rupa, that I do not know, therefore I am ignorant. Second was Sopadhika, like the mirage under certain specific circumstances, just as mirage appears. Similarly, under certain specific circumstances, ignorance appears. And third, Nirupadhik, even though it appears, it cannot be removed, just as the blueness of the sky during the daytime appears, but we cannot remove the blueness. Just as the snake appears on the rope, we cannot remove the snake. In all these three ways, ignorance, we are talking about ignorance, but it does not exist. We are talking about ignorance, but it does not exist. This is the main point here. Only in the kingdom of logic, tarka, has the word any meaning. So here what we are doing, we are splitting the hair. We are using the words to explain that which cannot be explained. In reality, from the point of view of the ocean, there is nothing like the wave independent of itself. Similarly, from the Atmic point of view, there is nothing called ignorance or its expression other than itself. Thus, the word ignorance becomes null and void the moment the contemplation is in the right perspective. Right perspective is the moment we become attentive of the constant principle. The expression of ignorance, the multiplicity, starts dissolving. This is said in the next OV. Nana punivetse andhare diha bhene rati mohare kiye tanchi sudha kare giri zevi. Frightened by the daylight, the darkness ran towards the night of full moon and got swallowed by the moon. The status of ignorance is as meaningless as the status of darkness. The darkness, frightened of the day, ran towards the night. The moment the moon came out, the darkness was swallowed by the moon. In the same way, the word ignorance is denied in both ways. Neither can it exist in the Atman nor can it exist independently. Ignorance is nothing but a figment of imagination and disappears on inquiry. And our problem is we don't inquire in the right direction. Our inquiry is, should I eat Chinese or should I eat Italian? Our inquiry means discriminations. Our inquiry should be, who am I who is experiencing this whole thing? Is there a I? If this whole world is an illusion existing in its own absence, it's a figment of imagination, then why am I running after it? Why am I attached to it? Why am I identified with it? Who is identified with it? Come to the principle. Who is identified? When you search for the one who is identified, you will find no one. But in that search, the world also will vanish. The one who is identified, who is not there, the ego, that will also vanish. Now the inquiry into the existence of ignorance is taken from another angle, adopting what is called the inferential method, karyanumeya. From the effect, the cause is inferred. From the effect, cause is inferred. Remember the 3 steps? Every effect must have a cause. Effect can never come to know the cause. Then what can you do? Only infer. The disease can never come to know the health. But from the disease, you can come to know the cause. Disease can never come to know the cause. But the doctor, he looks at the disease and infers. Oh, you have a tummy ache. Oh, you have loose motions. What did you eat? What did you drink? And through the symptoms, he is inferring. This is the angle of approach that is taken now. What is called the inferential method, karyanumeya. From the effect, the cause is inferred. From the effect called the child, that child cannot exist independently. Parents must be there. Child cannot pop into the world from nowhere. Every child must have a parents. Vision is possible only for the eyes. Eyes are the cause, vision is the effect. No, I see from my ears. Not possible. So from the effects, we come to know the cause. Now this whole process is, unfoldment is taken. I think we'll take it in our next class. Otherwise, now today we have seen what? The Karana Rupa, Sopadhika and Nirupadhika. The ignorance expresses in 3 ways. Karana Rupa, as the I don't know, therefore I am ignorant. I don't know whatever. I don't know myself, therefore I am ignorant. I don't know that I am Atma, therefore I am the ego. Stupid. And second, that the expression of ignorance is that, like a mirage, under certain specific conditions, ignorance expresses. Your mind expresses under specific conditions. What is the specific condition? Expression of consciousness through the body, then mind is created. If there is no consciousness in the body, mind will not be created. Dead man has got no mind. Life must be expressing. Specific condition. Waking experience is a specific condition. A sleeping person cannot have a waking experience. You can keep going with these examples. So, under certain specific conditions, ignorance expresses, appears. Then third is nirupadhika, that even though it is appearing, it cannot be removed. If it cannot be removed, do we continue to suffer for the rest of our life? If I can't remove the wife, if I can't remove the husband, if I can't remove the body, if I can't remove the breath, if I can't remove the mind, do I continue to suffer for the rest of my life? Is that the only option left for me? That when you go in this direction of thinking, it leads to depression. Or is there another way? We have to be open. Is there a possibility? Is there an option? I don't want to go down that laneway of depression, losing the plot of life. Then what can I do? Oh, while living, you can come to realize that you are the self. Okay. Then why am I fighting with the expression? Fighting with the expression is yoga abhyas. Twisting the body, pranayama, controlling the breath, pratyahar, controlling the mind, dharana, single-pointedness of the mind. See, all this is because we have not accepted that we are the self. These steps are there only because we have accepted we are this body, and now the urge is there, I want to know, so I am fixing the body. Can you fix the husband? No. He is a phenomena. Can you fix the mirage waters? No. Can you remove the mirage waters? No. Can you remove the blueness of the sky? No. Can you become disidentified from the body? Can you become non-breathing person? I want to go beyond the breath. I want to go beyond the mind. Can you do that? Can you remove the mind? Can you remove the breath? Can you remove the body? Not possible. If it is not possible, then there's only one option available, to rediscover that everything is divine. And that rediscovery of everything as divine is only by going from manyness to oneness. Bring it about. Recognize that you are that one. Don't delay. Don't create a journey where there is no journey. In the meantime, till it doesn't click, do whatever is required, what the scriptures have told. With the faith that one day it will click. Why one day? Now it will click. That bhava has to be there. देखो, है ना मजेदार? If we can't do anything, third point, nirupadhika, the appearance cannot be removed, cannot be destroyed. So are we going to be miserable on account of the appearance? Body is an appearance, waking is an appearance, husband is an appearance, wife is an appearance, father is an appearance, and all these fellows put together is called the ego, who is also an appearance. Rediscover it to be all divine. It is the Lord who is expressing through the body. It is the divine which is expressing behind the eyes. It is the divine which is expressing as the mind, as the manyness. It is that one infinite waters which is expressing as all the waves. Wow! Then everything is infinite? Yes. Then there is no status of the wave? No. But I am seeing the wave? Yes. There is no conclusive answer other than being the one without a thought. In the mind, there are no answers to this. Therefore, such a big exposition. We'll leave it here for today and contemplate on this. And we'll meet again in the next class where we'll see that from the effect, the cause is inferred. That topic we'll take in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Hari Om.